and cash to the San Antonio Spurs. As it stands right now, there's still no word on what the Bucks will be receiving in return, but the big news, approximately 2 minutes before the deadline at 2 o'clock Central Time, once again, according to Shams, the Los Angeles Clippers trading Kevin Porter Jr. to the Milwaukee Bucks for Marjon Beauchamp. So the Bucks roster is now set, and they will be competing for a championship with Giannis, Dame, Brooke, Kyle Kuzma, and Kevin Porter Jr. Just how we all drew it up. Jim, Matt, and Molly coming your way next.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You gotta keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Mer.
I'm the cloud from
Mister.
It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, the sports fan version of Matt is way more relatable than the sports fan version of Jim Rutledge or me. You're thinking like a radio host, which means a hardcore radio and sports person. Matt's thinking like somebody that has a job doing something else that also likes sports.
That's Matt's whole charm.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
It is Jim, Matt, and Molly, live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Matt Hamilton. If the mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's a Coors Light.
You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. I got Primetime Warshawn behind the glass. Matt, you are, what, is that a Bucks hat today?
It is a Bucks hat. One of the City Edition logos.
You are over your mourning of the loss of Chris Middleton? Or is that an excitement for Kevin Porter Jr. and Jericho Sims being added to the Milwaukee Bucks?
Well, I mean, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. I want to make sure that everyone out there knows, even though I wasn't wearing Bucks stuff yesterday, I'm still a supporter of the Bucks. Thanks, Chris Middleton, for your time. I'm Milwaukee through and through. I need me some Bucks. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all happy. They got a win last night.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna win
nice.
6.
I think it was like 112 to
Anytime
102.
you can beat a team with 12 wins at this point in the season, you gotta take it. No Giannis. So
When your basketball team is kind of floundering in the fashion that the Bucks are, just kind of living in the middle of the East right now, maybe top half of the East, but they're not as good as we would like them
They're
to
in
be.
the middle. Yep, you're right.
So any win's a good win.
Middle of the playoffs, yep.
We'll go ahead and throw this Bucks hat on, show a little support. Plus, yeah, they're making moves, and that's the best part about Horst. Not all moves work out, but the ones that you don't try, what did Wayne Gretzky say? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
Take that for data.
Anyways.
Taking a shot. Let's go,
He
Horst.
is Kevin Porter Jr., good basketball player, definitely some off-the-court issues, so mixed bag there. Don't know if we need to bring in those issues. This isn't like the Packers bringing in McManus because the Packers, I guess, in theory, the Packers and the Bucks this season kind of had the same long shot championship sort of aspirations.
Yep.
And so maybe I guess it's equivalent, but you can look up Kevin Porter Jr., make your own decisions on him. I am wearing a hat. Shout out to Pablo Iglesias. He brought back this hat from his vacation for me. He's got one. We got matching hats now.
A bear that says defense?
Yes. He found it down in Arizona, talked to the guy up, and it's kind of a smaller company that makes cool hats. And they do one for like the Dolphins. They do one for any team that would have an animal for the mascot, so no Packers.
Yeah, fair enough.
So then anything that doesn't involve the Packers. Also, one last thing, and then we'll get into the show. Shout out to Virginia Hallis. She passed away at 102 years old today. But look at this exclamation point on her football life. Her last game she ever watched live for the Chicago Bears was on her birthday. And it was Cairo Santos beating the Packers on a game-winning kick. And look, that was insignificant for the Packers, but for her to be able to go out on her 102nd birthday, that's the last game she sees. Good for her.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's 102 years of life that someone's lived, and so that it changes or moves nothing. But as a Bears fan, I at least got to give her a shout out for a heck of a football life. All right,
I'll give you that, Jim.
Thanks for that. We got a lot to get into today, Mr. Matt Hamilton, and a lot of it revolves, I think, heavily around Josh Jacobs. And we like to follow on Reddit, and I think our text group might be the same name that we renamed it a while ago of Am I the A-hole?
Yeah.
And we kind of just want to play the game, and you can chime in. This is not how we're going to ask it as our side unlimited poll question at Jim, Matt, and Molly, but we can ask it on the air like this, or at ESPN Madison where we'll post it up. But chime in on the Carbos Talking text line, 844-770-3776. List is more. Josh Jacobs down at Radio Row. Is he selling something, or is he just down there?
I believe they talked about on Willie and Tausch this morning. I think he's doing something for USAA.
Everyone's doing something.
Oh, yeah.
Our guy, George Kittle's doing something for pizza, or Little Caesars. And then I saw some Bears players doing stuff for Bounty. Julian Edelman is doing something for Angel Soft toilet paper. There are a lot of companies out there.
Everyone's got
spending
something.
a lot of stuff. So, anyways, he's down there, and he is asked on multiple outlets a question, and he basically gave the same answer to every single outlet. But let's hear Josh Jacobs.
We probably missing like 2 or 3 pieces, and once we get that, we'll be all right.
What pieces?
Yeah. I would say, I think we need another DN. I think we need another DB, and then I think we need a wide receiver, a real wide receiver. Yeah, I love the guys that we have in the receiving room. They all have potential to be one.
Right.
But we need a guy that's proven to be one.
So, real wide receiver probably cuts a little bit deep, but he does kind of soften the blow a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's with Chris Sims on Pro Football Talk. Chris Sims, son of Phil Sims, multiple Super Bowl winner. Chris Sims, not the same level of football player as his dad, but does a good job with the podcast there. So, Josh Jacobs has his thoughts. And then I believe Jaden Reed and Devontae Wicks on social media through varying different responses took umbrage to the response. And this is what I want to get to. We can talk about Josh Jacobs as a leader. We can talk about Josh Jacobs, is he the alpha in the all those sorts of things. But I really kind of want to get to who's the a-hole in this situation. Not necessarily they are specifically that, but who's in the wrong here? Josh Jacobs, for saying what everyone believes. You could be the most random Packers fan out there that catches a few games a year and just looks at the box score, and you would say, man, the Packers really need a number one wide receiver. Yeah. And Mr. Matt Hamilton thought the Packers were going to have 3 guys catching at least 900 yards receiving. That didn't happen this year.
In the Wilde and Tausch Bowl-a-thon.
Yes, in the Wilde and Tausch Bowl-a-thon. We had Alex Strofe. I believe he at one point was saying on Mr. Relevant, they might have 4 number ones. They got 0 number ones. I think we need to change the saying of you got 2 quarterbacks, you got none. If you think you got 4 number ones, you got none. So I think any Packer fan or anyone out there trying to spin the Packers had a bunch of really good receivers was more of none of them are elite, so they all look like they are the same level, and we'll just assume that level is high. That's basically it. They all are similar nice players who can do certain things. Like Christian Watson, when healthy, can take the top off the defense, and Jaden Reed is a nice niche player and a good player on a team, and Romeo Doubs is a good route runner. But if you turn them all into one player, then you have Justin Jefferson or one of those true number one wide receivers. But separately, they are not Voltron. They are not powered together to make one amazing wide receiver. That was the hope. I love how everyone's tune has changed from last offseason. We don't need Devontae Adams. We don't need number one. Jordan loves to spread the ball around to a bunch of bums, and they'll catch. But no, didn't work. Didn't work this year. We all agree on that. We all can see that. So Josh Jacobs kind of went with the old adage of, if the truth kills a man, let him die. Because he's speaking truth. He is speaking truth that the Packers needed a number one wide receiver. Maybe one of the guys can get there, or maybe one of them can have a really good season. Maybe Jaden Reed gets 30% better statistically by having a true number one next to him. Maybe Devontae Wyatt becomes more than MVS, which is basically what he is right now in his career. Maybe taking pressure off of him and allowing him to be just focus on doing one thing really well as opposed to trying to be anything more than what his best skill set is. Maybe that's all fair. So I want to ask the question, who basically handled the situation worse, Josh Jacobs or the Packers wide receivers? 844-770-3776. That's the Carlos Talking text line. Less is more. Who handled the situation on Super Bowl Radio Row worse? Josh Jacobs for speaking the truth, what every Packer fan and every member of that organization and most of that team recognizes that they could really use a number one.
But doing it on one of the biggest stages in the NFL season.
But it's not like he was airing.
He was
not airing dirty laundry. He
was
talking about play
to mention that this is a time where everyone's focused on what you're saying, and if you do say something inflammatory like that,
that's my point. It's not inflammatory. It is actually a Monday
take. Your team.
That is not
Truth
a hot
or
take.
not.
No, the hot take is
the truth can be inflammatory, Jim.
Well.
The truth will set you free, Matt.
The truth, it's a mundane take. That's not inflammatory. Everyone knows it. Like, Jaden Reed and Devontae Wicks need to get out of their feelings. I can't believe I'm agreeing with KBN, who stole our poll question about Giannis winning titles with the Bucks and are they going to do it again. Those thieves did have one right take, that Jaden Reed and Devontae Wicks need to put on their big boy pants and not be interacting on social with it. Because, again, Josh Jacobs not airing some sort of private business. We all have eyes. We all can look at ESPN.com. We all know the Packers don't have a number one wide receiver right now. So, again, Josh Jacobs said, if the truth kills a man, let him die. Josh Jacobs did not say anything but what every single football fan and Packer fan already knew.
I totally agree. I'm just saying that can still be inflammatory.
If you are in your feels.
I mean, here's the thing. No matter who you are and whether you agree or not, I'm sure these guys see the writing on the wall. If it upsets you, then it's an inflammatory take.
I think
all I was doing is setting it up that there may have been better avenues for Josh Jacobs to say that, but do I disagree with what he said? Not at all. Not at all. 0%.
So who is the a-hole in this situation? Jacobs for speaking the truth, or Reed and Dontavion Wicks for how he reacted?
I just want to say they all the players you mentioned have a little bit of shade of a-hole.
You are a radio host.
But I do think it's the wide receivers who took it more poorly. Like, you can hear it, you can be upset by it, but to go to Twitter and expect people to have your back, because Packer fans also look at the stats. I'm looking at them right now. Jaden Reed had 800 yards receiving this year. It's not number one. It's not number one on any team in the NFL. But he's our number one, according to the yards. So, like, that's just not it. He ain't it.
And I have a strong – this goes back to my baseball takes with, like, you can't have an – like, just because someone is the guy who has to go out every 5 days in the number one slot doesn't make him a number one. Just because the guy, Packers don't have a number one. We all can agree on that.
I agree.
That is a non-debatable fact. 844-770-3776. That's the Carlos Talking text line. Less is more. We are asking you, our Siding Unlimited poll question, who handled this situation worse between Josh Jacobs and the Packers wide receivers? Josh Jacobs or the Packers wide receivers? So Robin Madison says he's down in New Orleans supporting prophylactics. Mitch in Stoughton says he agrees on Hallis. Good for her to have that last memory. And Ryan, our psychedelic advisor, chimes in. I'm so happy Jim, Matt, and Molly is on. KBN is not as good as Jim, Matt, and Molly. I'm paraphrasing there, but thank you, Ryan.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Prime time.
And I agree. I also agree with that take.
Yeah.
It might be inflammatory towards KBN fans.
On that note, you could go to Madison Magazine. Just Google up Madison Magazine and go to MadisonMagazine.com and nominate us. Molly's involved. We don't want Molly to feel left out. You and I, people like us, and we've had 2 years in a row nominated for Best Radio Team. Well, now Molly's involved, and we can't have Molly not be nominated with us. She can't be the drag on the show.
Yeah, she definitely is the one who's going to carry the torch going forward.
So please go to MadisonMagazine.com and go vote or initially nominate us for Best Radio Team in Madison. The last 2 years, we've been the only sports show nominated, and we don't want Molly's feelings hurt. So go ahead and nominate for this.
Yeah, you don't. And a woman scorned. There's a phrase about that, so don't get on Molly's bad side, Jim, Matt, and Molly fans.
You know how you get on Matt Hamilton's good side, and that's I would just go to Metcalf's Market with Matt.
Absolutely. And you will be on your significant other's good side because they have fantastic Valentine's Day gifts for you to get. Whether it's the hand-dipped chocolate strawberries or the boutique chocolates that they have, or you're trying to make a nice dinner and you want to get a heart-shaped ribeye, Metcalf's Market is the place for you. They've got Metcalf's Rewards where you can save money every single day on items you use every single day. It's free to sign up for Metcalf's Rewards, so there's no point in not doing it. So when you do go there, you can just chunk off a couple dollars off that bill every time you go and save yourself some money. Metcalf's Market is in Wauwatosa, Hilldale, and the Westtown Mall area. And I highly recommend checking them out before Valentine's Day and check out some of these great products they have to offer. So go to Metcalf's Market and bring local home.
On the other side, we'll hear what Jordan Love had to say about Josh Jacobs. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions, securing homes and businesses in the Madison area since 1987.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
James Imaging Systems, a 100% locally owned and managed Wisconsin business technology company. 20-year James client Daniel Bertelson, CEO at RE/MAX Preferred.
Reliability and consistency are the key to any successful business, and for our networking and digital solutions, they've been that right along with us for all these years.
Local reliability and consistency has also had a positive impact for Baker Manufacturing. Purchasing Manager Jennifer Wilger.
It helps keep us efficient and productive, and we can keep our minds on what's really important, and that's taking care of our customers.
And Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance, also depends on the reliability and consistency of local service from James Imaging Systems.
Yeah, you get somebody that knows what they're doing, come in here and get it done in 5 minutes, and we're not having to take our time to do it.
Go with local. Go with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
From color-changing alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison.
Hungry? Quick Trip's got you. Food's here, and it's hot and ready. Check out our appetizers, like crispy tornadoes, packed with bold fillings that'll keep you coming back for more. And experience Quick Trip Zesty Mini Tacos, bite-sized, big flavor, and totally irresistible. No dinner plans? Take home and bake a freshly made Cheese Mountain Pizza. So easy and delicious. Fuel up at your ultimate destination for snacks and meals that hit the spot. Only at Quick Trip.
Ben Bruss here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the Beltline at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
With us being the youngest team in the NFL, the field is definitely good. I would say that, like, you don't have no guys that's complacent. You have guys that's still willing to work because they trying to make a name for themselves and figure it out.
Right.
And obviously winning. But I think that the thing for me that I seen the most was the difference was the little things, the details, the penalties, fourth and, whatever, making that play.
Yeah,
them 4 to 5 plays, we didn't really come up with them a lot this year in general. I would say that's the biggest thing. And then we probably missing like 2 or 3 pieces. And once we get that, we'll be all right.
What pieces?
Josh Jacobs went on to say, wide receivers, don't you got eyes, Chris Sims? He didn't say it exactly like that. That was, again, Josh Jacobs with Chris Sims on the Pro Football Talk podcast. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. No, Molly, she's out with babies. I'm Jim Rutledge. He's Matt Hamilton. We're in the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Wollersheim with us as well. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page as well. I want to get back to our Siding Unlimited poll question, and we'll get back to your calls and texts. But I teased it before the break, and I want to then pay off that tease.
Nice.
And,
well done.
Yes.
He's that big J of yours.
Yes. And let's hear Jordan Love, who spoke today with ESPN.
I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role. And I think we're still young. We're still building this thing. And guys are still proving themselves. So, Josh, he made those comments. And, I'm always right for my guys. I love the guys we have. I always say, if you add good players to an already good offense, I think, you can make it a better team.
So Absolutely. A potential number 1 wide receiver that could be available in free agency, T. Higgins, what would your thoughts be on adding him to your already talented roster?
Yes.
Like I said, T's a phenomenal player. Yeah. I know T pretty well. And, like I said, if you add a really good player to a really good offense, I think the sky's the limit. You could take it pretty quick.
Very political answer from Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So
he towed that line nicely.
We're gonna play that audio a few more times, obviously throughout the show, Mr. Matt Hamilton. We will chime in initially. You can chime in 844-770-3776 on our Siding Unlimited poll question. Again, that's our Carbless Talking text line. List is more at 844-770-3776. But I do want to look at this poll question. Who handled the situation on Super Bowl Radio Row worse, Josh Jacobs or the Packers wide receivers? Right now, 55% of you say Reed and Wicks. So, Matt, we'll revisit that, but you can chime in on that again. But I do want to ask you, what do you think of Jordan Love's comments? Do you think he agrees with Josh Jacobs? He obviously towed a line, but the answer to me was pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think he agreed with Josh Jacobs in that fashion. Like, first of all, Jordan Love ain't gonna say, no, I don't want a number 1 wide receiver from another team. We've got one already. Like, he's not wrong when he says when you add a good player to an already good offense, and that those are his words, not mine, that they're going to be elevated. I think Jordan Love did a good job of sidestepping the question a little bit, making sure that he praised his guys, but also didn't rule out the idea that getting another guy is going to be helpful regardless. So when you say it like that and you say that adding another guy is going to make an already good offense better, I think that's Jordan Love just saying, yeah, we could use another guy, but if we don't get one, I'll survive.
844-770-3776. That's the Carbless Talking text line. List is more. We are asking you who was more in the wrong, Josh Jacobs or the Packers wide receivers. Reaction to Josh Jacobs' quotes about basically saying they could use a number 1. Jordan Love was asked about it with ESPN. You heard Bourbon Street a little bit in the background here. And if you're just tuning in, we'll play the audio for you again in a second. But before I hear it, my first blush at it, Matt Hamilton, was that Jordan Love wants to agree with Josh Jacobs, but Jordan Love understands he's a quarterback of the team, so he went a little bit more political. But reading the tea leaves, and you're a fan for a long time, and we've all been covering this stuff for a long time, when someone goes this political, it means they want to say yes, but they don't want the backlash for the yes answer. Let's hear Jordan Love again on with ESPN.
How do you see this young group, and are there advantages in not having a number 1?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we have different guys that can play and do different things better than other guys. And I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role. And I think we're still young. We're still building this thing, and guys are still proving themselves. So, Josh, he made those comments. And, I'm always right for my guys. I love the guys we have. I always say, if you add good players to an already good offense, I think, you can make it a better team.
So that's
him saying I'm not opposed to another guy.
That's him saying, yes, I absolutely want a number one wide receiver, but I know the Packers and the odds are against us going to get that guy, so I'm not going to burn my room. I'm not going to burn my guys for that.
100%.
Yes, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that answer.
I love the way he answered that.
That was
perfect.
A good job by Jordan Love answering that question. And I think, do you think there's a chance that this is strategic by Josh Jacobs? Where he says, you know what, maybe I apply a little pressure to the Packers front office.
Pressure.
Now, I'm not saying it'll work because maybe he doesn't understand Goody just likes to live in his own little draft cave. But, maybe Josh Jacobs is like, well, if I put it out there and then Jordan Love gives the political answer of yes, but with we're good, but more is always better.
Yeah.
That's a very political answer from Jordan Love. And, again, the answer he should give. And then if you get a couple more guys, if they're asked about it, and they're like, yeah, I mean, of course, more good players are better. Maybe it creates a little bit of pressure on Goody to be like, hey, not only do the fans want a number one wide receiver, but the players you are paying to play football for you say you're not doing your job because these guys that you drafted, your beloved draft picks, ain't it. They're good players. They're not Devontae. They're not T. Higgins, which we all can agree that they are not that.
At the very least, I hope that this, and again, we know Goody, so who knows what he ends up doing. Most likely trying to find a player in the 5th round. That said, I do think that those comments from both Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs should light a fire under their butts. It should make Reed and Wicks think, hey, if the most effective weapon on our offense says we don't have a number one, let's prove him wrong. And when our leader, our quarterback, our main guy who runs the plays and calls the plays says that, sure, we could be better if you added another player, because I always say, add a good player to a good team and you'll get better. That should motivate you. That should be something you're like, if we don't add another player, I still think we can get better, and I'm going to show you. So, if they took it the way I would take it, as somebody telling me I can't be a number one, you better believe the next day I'm going to be doing everything I can to try and prove Josh Jacobs wrong.
So, Matt, I like your take, but I also take umbrage with it because it's concerning then. What the hell have Jaden Reed been doing? And as Lando and Tosa calls them, Drop TV and Wicks, what have they been doing otherwise? That they needed a fire light under their butt? And I understand in curling it's a little different because you could.
Well, you don't have the competition in the room. One of them
These guys
knows.
are young players. These guys should be trying to to me,
I totally agree, but when you're given the position of number one and number two wide receiver, it can go to your head.
So I look at it as not, and this is so I'm not viewing it as a red flag. They're not good enough. No matter how hard they work, they're not going to get there. But that, to me, is not a red flag. They can still get better. But in the NFL, which I think is different than other sports where, you could work the heck out of it, Jaden Reed is under 6 feet tall. Steve Smith is basically the only guy who is under 6 feet tall who is a legit outside receiver number one guy. That's it. And if you want to say Wes Welker is number one with the Patriots, fine, that's 2. Guys under 6 feet aren't it. Droptavian Wicks or Dontavian Wicks, however you want to call him.
Well, see, drops to me are something that you can work on.
But he's dropped for his entire life.
Oh, I get that, but that doesn't mean you just. It means there's one glaring problem with it. And drops are something that I feel like can be practiced and you can get better.
But he's a 5th round pick because he dropped. He hasn't climbed up the roster because he's dropped. This guy should have had a fire lit under his butt at some point. He's 2 years pro and multi-years in college, and he's the same guy.
And that to me is he hasn't done anything to change his work. Drops are something that can be taught.
But it's more than
knowing
drops.
how to run a route and knowing
run.
where the soft spots are in the defense, that is just kind of knowledge that you have or you don't.
We can ask Jason Wilde about this, but let me tell you about Canopy Wealth Management. At Canopy Wealth Management, they are a fee-based advisory firm. They don't chase commissions and never back gimmicks or instruments that chase single-day returns or put your long-term goals at risk. The team at Canopy creates strategies that are tailored to your needs and goals. Canopy Wealth Management, care, competence, and clarity aren't just buzzwords. They're a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started with them today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
I will say Jason Wilde tentative on the other side, depending on whether or not he replies to my text today.
Well, either way, we're going to reveal your bombardment of text.
Bombardment?
Yes.
I didn't bombard.
Bombardment, Ryan.
It wasn't a bombardment. It was not a bombardment.
You've got the screenshot, and we can let the fans decide if that was bombardment or not.
Hey,
TJ from the road chimes in. A good percentage of the blame would then fall on the coaching staff for not lighting a fire under these guys. Again, my whole point is it's never good if guys need to be motivated 2 years in the league. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison Weight Loss is the real deal. I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing what I eat. This program really works. Schedule a free consultation to see how the program can help you achieve your goals at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Have you been waiting to buy your next home? Stop. Now is the time to get housed. What's up, Madison? It's Stacy from Bruner Realty. Nobody has a crystal ball to know what the future holds. The longer you wait to find your next home, the better the chance you'll be paying more for it than you would be today. Don't miss out on what could be the best opportunity to find your dream home. Contact our team at BrunerRealtyInc.com to help start your search. That's BrunerRealtyInc.com. Let's get housed.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by Bucks analyst Steve Novak. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
You're only minutes away from a better buying experience at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb. Jim Rutledge here. What is a better buying experience? Well, that's the thing. You get to define it. It is the experience that is customized to you. What experience do you want at a car dealership? They can be your trusted friend or your trusted expert. So if you're in the market for a new or new-to-you Silverado, Colorado, Blazer, Trailblazer, remember, you're only minutes away from a better buying experience. And that's at Simden Chevy in Mount Horeb.
Outside in. That's
what we call our Siding Unlimited showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. All the stuff defending the outside of your home against Wisconsin's weather displayed inside. Many siding options and colors, plus full display of Pella windows and patio doors, and roofing too. Wisconsin's own Siding Unlimited, 4-time National Pella Platinum Premier Contractor of the Year, and proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, awaits you inside our showroom at 2018 South Stoughton Road. SidingUnlimited.com.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s is Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Jason, quick question.
You are one of one.
3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year.
Help me understand a little bit more clearly what you're asking.
Did you ever hear it called Don't Go Jason Waterfalls?
Is this Matt Hamilton?
So I kind of just thought of this question on the spot. So it needs to be workshopped a little. I'm not going to lie.
That's the same as Matt.
Jason Wilde is on Jim, Matt, and Molly.
What's up with that? What's up with that?
Sounds like Jason Wilde is standing up. Primetime Wallerstein for good reason.
For very good reason.
He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We are live from the Everlight Solar Studio. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue. You know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
Primetime Wallerstein probably doing his best to apologize.
Do you think this is the first time Ryan's ever been stood up?
No.
0% chance.
So anyways,
yeah,
and honestly,
a peek behind the curtain?
Ryan could have stood up in real life for similar reasons that Jason Wilde maybe is standing him up.
Yeah.
Over texting.
Yeah.
So
sorry, my phone went haywire.
Ryan got a little thirsty trying to book Jason Wilde today.
Yeah.
And
you can't show him you want it so bad, Ryan.
Play it cool, man.
Yeah.
Play it cool.
Yeah. Like Jason knows we want him on, but you don't need to beg the man.
So we might have gotten a glimpse into Ryan's personal life,
Yeah.
and then
Would
how
you
he's
guys
booking
stop
guests.
trying to bring it always back to that? Like, you're obsessed.
He asked
Truly
if you,
obsessed.
he asked if this is the first time you've been stood up, and it's funny because I think
Can't
it's funny.
be stood up if you've never been asked.
So I
can't drop a pass that was never thrown to
look.
you.
I'll admit this. In my dating days, I look back and cringe once in a while. I'm like, I probably overtexted or called like that.
Yeah.
Like, oof. And like that burn, like so it comes from a place like I've been there, and Ryan accidentally texted Jason Wilde 3 times within like a minute, but
the same text,
but Ryan claims it was
because I care.
a phone issue.
Yeah, that's what my phone told me it was.
So Jason is joining us now. Jason, do you have any?
First of all, we're sorry for our producer.
Yes, we're sorry for that. Yes, we apologize for that. But we also want to make Ryan not feel picked on. Like, was there any? Because there's definitely been a time in my life where I feel like, I overtexted or I overcalled. Like, oof, That's embarrassing. Was there ever a time in your life, in your dating life, where you're like, probably texted too much or called too much or whatever the form of communication was back in your day of dating?
Yeah, first of all, it was definitely not text.
Homing pigeons.
It was messages on your answering machine. Like if you've ever seen, I know Wooly and Matt are much younger than us, but if you've ever seen Swingers,
yes,
you know the pain that Jon Favreau feels when he overcalls the girl whose number he gets.
It's honestly one of the most cringy scenes in movie history, if you fellas haven't seen
it's
it.
really well done, and it's cringy because we've all been there to some degree.
Mm-hmm.
Did Wooly did he tell the better part of the story where then I responded to his next text by replying with the same question 6 times? Because I was pretty proud of that.
Because he showed me that he showed us the screenshot of like
that
Jason
sent
that Jason sent. And that you sent Jason, and it was like, I don't know if Jason's actually joining the day or not. He might be mad at me. And then he explained to us what happened, at least from his side of the story.
And then, he said that you responded a couple times. He's like, do you think that is a yes? And I'm like, yeah, I would think that's a yes, Ryan.
It's always a yes unless I explicitly say no, first of all. Because I'm never going to stand you guys up, especially if you need me to move days. I was actually at Associated Bank, so it took me a while to get out of the meeting I had. But I think the worst part for Wooly is that time that he had an extra ticket to the volleyball match, and he was filling in on our show as the producer, and we couldn't get him a date. And I felt terrible because I thought that our show had more power than that. And I'm going to chalk it up to, that people just weren't familiar with Wooly on our show because, we love him, and obviously you guys too. So I feel like if our audience had been familiar with what a great guy he is, we would have been beating him off with a stick. And instead, the only person who even responded to the tweet was one of our avid listeners who lives in Canton, Ohio. So it did not go well, and I felt bad about that. But again, I feel like the more he has to fill in on our show, which Lord knows will be frequently, I think we'll build a better audience and more dating opportunities.
Can Wooly just be like an open invitation? Just call in, just possibly set up a time for a date, go to a game.
You sound too desperate right
We're
now,
the home
bro.
of the Brewers now. Go to AmFam, crack some Coors.
You've got a lot to offer, Wooly. I mean,
If you want to know stats.
Oh, Matt, I blow you away with the stats.
I know. I'm sure some lucky lady will just be thrilled to know what the Brewers' average scoring in the seventh inning is.
To keep hand score with Ryan throughout.
Hold on, Matt. How many receiving yards did Jaden Reed have this year?
Like 800.
It's on the piece of paper in front of you.
857.
How many rushing yards?
163.
Would you look at that, guys?
Take that for
Would you look at that?
Jason, if you were in the Associated Bank meeting, I don't know did you see Jordan Love on NFL Live today?
I did not, no.
Okay.
I was with my personal banker, Ben Sorensen, instead. What did he say?
Well, we'll play it for you.
How do you see this young group, and are there advantages in not having a number one?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we have different guys that can play and do different things better than other guys. And I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role. And I think we're still young. We're still building this thing. And guys are still proving themselves. So, Josh, he made those comments. And, I'm always right for my guys. I love the guys we have. I always say, if you add good players to an already good offense, I think, you can make it a better team.
It seemed like a very PC, good answer from the quarterback of the team, but what were your thoughts?
I didn't think that was a good answer at all.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
It was like he knew that was coming, right? Like,
that's true.
Obviously, when you agree to go on NFL Live or the NFL Network, it's coming. And so I would have had a better answer ready than that, where I would say, I like the last part. I will say that. When you add good players to already good players, you're going to be better. But, it wasn't I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it wasn't exactly a full-throated dismissal of what Josh Jacobs said, right? And look, I want to be clear. I understand that's my first time hearing that.
Yep.
I get it. He's in a tough spot, right? Because he doesn't want to disrespect Josh Jacobs either. Even if he agrees with Josh Jacobs, he can't get on TV and say, no, I think Josh is right. We definitely need a new number one wide receiver because we don't have anybody that fills that role. But, if you're kind of painted into the corner of having to support your guys anyway, I think there's probably a stronger reply that probably includes something of, look, I made a ton of mistakes this season. I need to be better. I need to be more accurate. I need to get those guys the ball in better positions to make plays. Did we have some issues with drops this season too? We did, but I can help those guys by putting the ball in better locations. But they need to improve too, and they'd be the first ones to say that. I would, and again, it's not my job to prep him for an interview. I don't work for the PR department. But I would have said, hey, look, this team, this organization has a history of having homegrown, organically grown number one wide receivers.
Cage-free.
I wasn't born yet when they had Sterling Sharp, who hopefully will go into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tonight. But they had Sterling Sharp, and I remember watching Greg Jennings in the Super Bowl, and then it was Jordy Nelson. Then I got here, and Davante Adams was here. And so all those guys, they didn't come from outside. Those guys were draft picks who grew into the role, and I think we got a bunch of guys that could do the same thing. And whoever does that is going to put himself in a great position, but I think all of these guys have the potential to grow into that role. None of them are there just yet. We've seen glimpses from all of them, but I know that we've got the right guys that can grow into that role. That's how I would have answered it if I was the quarterback.
What if you actually wanted a number one?
Well, let's hear Jordan Love. He had another thought about a specific number one.
I always say if you add good players to an already good offense, I think you can make it a better team.
So a potential number one wide receiver that could be available in free agency, T. Higgins, what would your thoughts be on adding him to your already talented roster?
Yes.
Like I said, T's a phenomenal player. I know T pretty well, and like I said, if you add a really good player to a really good offense, I think the sky's the limit. You could take it pretty cool.
So same answer, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, he had talking points that he was trying to hit.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't ask him about Davante Adams, because Davante Adams, it's really interesting that when he left, I mean, and I have not watched receiver, but somebody mentioned to me today that he sounded like he wasn't a huge fan of Jordan Love when he left there either, in that series. And I know he had said some things after he left for Vegas, which left the impression that he didn't think Jordan was going to be good, which, by the way, is what most people thought, including Brian Gutekunst, who signed Aaron Rodgers to an extension going into the 2022 season. And if he really knew how good Jordan was going to be, he wouldn't have done that. So his tune has changed, and Jordan has improved immensely from the guy that I watched and the guy that Davante watched in 2020 and in 2021. I mean, we all remember that Kansas City game. And while, Goody and LaFleur claimed it was a bad game plan and they didn't have solutions for the Chiefs' blitzes, which is fair, I also thought Jordan showed how inaccurate he used to be and how much he's improved now. So to me, I don't think they're acquiring T. Higgins. I don't. I think there's a chance that they get Davante Adams. Davante Adams sure seems motivated to come back. And to me, if you believe that you can have a young wide receiver, whether it's Wicks or Reed or a healthy Watson, develop into that true number one, then Adams is exactly the guy you want, because he doesn't walk in and get paid as the guy who's going to be the number one for the next 5 years. He walks in as a guy that's been a number one who can be the number one for the next 2 years, and then he can be the Jordy to whoever's going to play his Davante and rise up to be the next number one.
Yeah, so Jason, all of this conversation stems from Josh Jacobs, and our poll question, which I kind of want to get your take on, is who handled the situation on Super Bowl Radio Row worse? Josh Jacobs for explaining the situation about the Packers wide receivers, or Jaden Reed and Devontae Wicks for replying on Twitter to Josh Jacobs' comments on Radio Row?
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't understand what Jaden Reed's response was at all. Like, he basically turned it on the fans and said that, like, that, you know, your issue is with your running back. Like, if they agreed with Josh Jacobs, your issue is still with Josh Jacobs, right? Don't make it about the fans. So that surprised me, and I think he deleted that, did he not?
I believe.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Whereas Wicks, to his credit, left his up. Look,
the laughy faces and thumbs down.
Yeah, the thumbs down is kind of key, right? Now, do I think that Josh Jacobs should have been more careful with his word choices? I do. But he does have truth as a defense. And I've said multiple times, I just think he got caught up in the moment. Like, Radio Row, if you've never been there, you're getting pulled a million directions. There's an energy and a buzz to it. And I think he probably just overstepped and went a little deeper into that. But I think it has to be the other guys, because I think Josh Jacobs told the truth. And while that's inconvenient and perhaps problematic, it's still the truth. And I like guys that tell the truth.
Yes, and that's kind of, I don't know who said the quote of it, if the truth kills a man, let him die. And look, he said what we all, this is not some locker room secret. This is, you could watch any game, be like, or look at the box scores, or look at the stats, be like, well, I got number one. And even Jaden Reed's height limits the ability to be number one. There's not a lot of number one wide receivers who are under 6 feet tall in the history of the NFL. But Jason, I want to let you go. You're very much I don't want to say football historian, makes you sound old, but you got a good perspective on football. And I think it's just worth mentioning Virginia McCaskey passed away today. She was 6 when the Great Depression started, 17 during Pearl Harbor, 46 for the first moon landing, 63 when the Bears won the Super Bowl, 102 when she passed away. She turned 102 years old watching the last football game she ever watched live, which was Cairo Santos kicking a game-winning field goal for the Chicago Bears over the Green Bay Packers. But her legacy in the NFL, I mean, that goes back to George Halas. That's, she is his daughter. Your thoughts on McCaskey passing? It's an end of an era in the NFL.
Yeah, and I have probably one of my top 5 favorite stories that combine the job I do with being a parent, and the star of the story is Virginia McCaskey. So we were at the NFL meetings it would have been March of 2010, okay? So that would have been 15 years ago. So if she was 102, she was like in her late 80s at the time. And I was going because back then I went to the NFL meetings every year. They were in Florida, I think, that year. And at the last minute, we decided, hey, can we find a cheap flight and have Paula and Maddie, who was 9 weeks old, come along? And so we did. Midwest Express was still around, so we found an inexpensive direct flight. I changed my flight. The 3 of us flew together. We go to the NFL meetings, and at the NFL meetings, they do this thing where it's super uncomfortable for me because I'm not a huge fan of rich people to begin with. But then it's like all the owners are there, all the GMs are there, all the coaches are there, and then they invite the media too. And it's one thing if I'm at one of those with my buddy John Schneider and Pete Carroll is telling me that 9/11 was an inside job, which did happen, by the way. Which I was like, dude, how do I get out of this? And I remember telling Schneider, you could have warned me that was going to happen, because that was not enjoyable. But so Maddie is 9 weeks old, and we're new parents, clearly don't know what the hell we're doing, trying to find a place to sit at a table at this outdoor, resort where it's like $1,000 a night. I'm clearly staying at a courtyard nearby. And Paula and I find a table. There's this older couple sitting there, and we're debating, all right, well, you go up and get food and just get me, I told her, just get me something. I'll eat whatever you bring. And this nice elderly woman says, oh, no, here, give me the baby. I'll hold her. You guys go get some food. You look a little overwhelmed. It was Virginia McCaskey.
Wow.
And so we would always joke that, and she actually made the joke first, that, well, you're going to have to raise her a Bears fan. And what's funny, and people don't, understand this because they never understand me not being a fan. But like the girls, they root for the season to end, so they get the most time with me. And so they kind of are Bears fans or fans of whoever they're playing. So Virginia McCaskey gave us an incredible memory, and frankly, she just was beaming holding Maddie and thought it was the greatest thing. And we obviously were able to eat the meal with our hands free without one of us trying to hold her while we're eating with the other hand. And it's one of my favorite memories. And so when I saw that news today, I was really, really sad. And she had a great life, and she gave us a great story that I get to share.
Yeah, Jason, thanks for sharing it because that is an awesome story. We'll go out on that because that is a heck of a story to wrap up your segment with. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
I didn't know I was going to get that answer from Jason Wilde, so that's an amazing story for Jason Wilde, providing perspective on just a really cool story, and honestly,
football owners are people too,
right? An incredible football life for her. Again, her dad is Papa Bear House, and so she passes away, and that's kind of the end of. Obviously, now it's grandchildren and everything like that, but that was direct lineage. 102 years old. We're going to give away. We're going to easily pivot to give away a case of High Life. What call are we doing it for?
Caller 102? Caller.
How about 11 for Jaden Reed?
How old was Maddie when she was held?
9 months.
9 months?
I thought it was 9 weeks. Was it 9 months? Either way, 9.
9.
Caller number 9, 844-770-3776. Caller number 9 gets a case of High Life, 844-770-3776. And actually, while we're taking those calls, I want to thank our listeners because the folks with High Life were like, hey, do people pick this up? And I said, honestly, 85% of the time, people are picking up the cases of beer. They said, that's the best we have. So thanks to our listeners for picking up cases of High Life. You get to have another year of winning High Life. So thanks for calling in and trying to win, and then thanks for coming and getting it.
Yeah, and if you ever don't, I'll grab it for you, and I'll drink it myself. So you would still claim it as claimed.
Thank you.
Actually, just come and get it. 844-770-3776. Caller number 9 with the case of High Life. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly.
Stop.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by Starion Bank with 3 Madison area locations in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona. Starion Bank is here investing in your community. Start your experience at starionbank.com. Member FDIC. Wisconsin football losing general manager Max Steinecker to USC. Brad Nortman frustrated by yet another key loss. The former Badger punter sounding off on Kyle Brust and Nortman pushing the program to shape up before getting bent out of shape.
They are not built to handle this new college football world. Any advantage they had in recruiting or development is completely gone. Until things change significantly, the Badgers have no choice but to wade in the waters of mediocrity.
Get Pella windows as low as $22 per month and doors as low as $89 per month. Visit Pella at the Neary Spring Home Improvement Show February 14th through the 16th.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. and see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Dog, I can't remember a game that was this good.
Yeah, you know what else would be great right now? Some food from the Great Dane.
I know, but we can't go right now.
Good news! The Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company is available on DoorDash and Uber Eats. Stay in the game with the full menu delivered from the Great Dane closest to you. Downtown, Hilldale, Fitchburg, or East Madison. Order today with DoorDash and Uber Eats or on thegreatdanepub.com. Great Dane Pub and Brewing Company, Madison's original brew pub since 1994.
There's no safer place to feel dumb than Mr. Irrelevant with Alex Strofe.
I would love to play court on Mr. Irrelevant.
What do you mean play court? You want a mock trial?
Yeah, mock trial. Yeah.
Who's on trial for what?
Me.
For being a dumbass?
Yeah, right.
Well, guilty. I solved it.
Yeah. Just start playing back old shows.
Yeah, the evidence is monumentous.
Mr. Irrelevant, live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 12:30 on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
Who's in the High Life?
That'd be Tom in Lodi's in the High Life before he leaves for Hawaii tomorrow. So he's in the High Life for a while, guys.
Good for him. So he's probably going to pick it up after he gets back from Hawaii then?
Yeah, he'll be in the High Life when he gets back, but I think he's going to be in the High Life, he's going to be in the High Life for as long as he's in Hawaii, too.
Oh, absolutely.
He might come back to like a 20-pack.
Oh, because Matt Hamilton got into it?
Yeah. There's a storage tax that I'm going to start claiming.
Storage tax.
Yeah.
For the prize closet here at ESPN Madison.
Yeah.
Where you spend about 3 hours a day. Why are you storing it?
What, the prize closet?
Yeah, why are you the one storing it?
Because I'm going to be the one that's taking it?
Oh, okay. Well, you know what? I can't argue with that logic.
Yeah, that's how we get people to come pick up their beers. When they call and say, hey, you want a case of High Life, come get it quick, or Matt Hamilton's going to take it.
At least some of it. I'll leave some for you.
Oh, what a guy.
Yeah.
What a guy.
Yeah, who says I'm not a nice person?
Most people. He's Matt Hamilton. I'm Jim Rutledge. The people whose beer you're stealing say you're not a nice person. Primetime War Shot Beyond the Glass. You can see us at the ESPN the Everlight Solar Studios. You can see us on the ESPN Madison YouTube page. We do have a Siding Unlimited poll question, 844-770-3776. And our poll question, which I actually have a bone to pick with, I think Pablo, whoever it is on the ESPN Madison Twitter, just decided to, almost the second we posted it, retweet something else over it. And it's getting a little lost on the timeline there. But regardless, we asked the question, our Siding Unlimited poll question.
It's getting lost in the sauce?
Yeah. Who handled the situation on the Super Bowl radio row better, who handled the situation on Super Bowl radio row worse, Josh Jacobs or the Packers wide receivers, Jaden Reed and Devontae Wicks? That is our Siding Unlimited poll question. Dontavion Wicks. What am I saying?
You said Devontae Wicks.
Again?
Matt did it too, honestly, when he was talking to Jason, actually. And I looked at the poll. It says Dontavion Wicks.
I'm reading
sure
it too.
I said Dontavion.
You said Devontae Wicks.
I think we both interchanged
prove it.
We both know his name is Dontavion, but I think that
because everyone said he was going to be the next Devontae, and I think it just...
And we're talking about
we were
Devontae.
talking about him coming to the Packers.
And we're just idiots. It's just...
Dontavion Adams.
Yeah. It's a good
Anyways,
name, Dontavion Adams.
Reed and Wicks at 61% is the leader in the clubhouse. You can chime in 844-770-3776 on the Carbos Talking text line. This is more. So we've been talking about that. We've also been getting reactions to Jordan Love basically giving a non-answer on the wide receivers. And, Matt, I wanted to get your reaction to Jason Wilde's reaction that he didn't think it was that great of an answer from Jordan Love.
Yeah, I like Jason. I really appreciate his insights on this thing, but I couldn't disagree more.
Well, because you're an athlete defender. We'll talk about it on the other side. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
Dinner just got easier and tastier. Pizza Hut's Ultimate Hut Bundle is here to save the day. Starting at just $24.99, you can get any 2 medium pizzas, 8 boneless wings in your favorite flavor, and your choice of cinnamon, cheese, or breadsticks with 2 dips. Feed the family or wow your friends without breaking the bank. The Ultimate Hut Bundle is only here for a limited time. Hurry in and order online today at pizzahut.com. The Ultimate Hut Bundle. Only at Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is former Badger Pro Football Hall of Famer Joe Thomas. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN WTLX Monona, Madison. Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. I'm Ryan Wollersheim, and this is your Sports Center Update brought to you by Milwaukee Brewers Baseball on ESPN Madison. Listen to every game this season starting on opening day on March 27th right here on Madison's new home of Milwaukee Brewers Baseball, 100.5 ESPN. And we're also the home of Milwaukee Bucks basketball, and the NBA trade deadline finally settled down today as the Bucks making their final moves after trading Chris Middleton yesterday. They also traded forward Marjon Beauchamp this morning with the Clippers for Kevin Porter Jr. of the same position. Bucks also sending Patrick Baldwin Jr. and Cash down to the San Antonio Spurs as they finish their roster management before today's 2 p.m. deadline. Head over to ESPNWisconsin.com for more news and updates on all things Milwaukee Bucks this season. And then continuing saga down at Super Bowl Radio Row as Josh Jacobs yesterday heard calling out the Packers' lack of a number one wide receiver, while Jordan Love on NFL Live on ESPN earlier today. Here's what he had to say, chiming in on the situation.
I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role.
Second hour of Jim, Matt, and Molly
Metro
right now.
Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Everybody's ego takes a shot on this show.
You got to keep your chill with Jim, Matt, and Molly.
I am savage.
So you're not special.
Jim, if we want to play this game, we can play this game.
And I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's going to swing on Jim. He's a complicated fellow.
People like me.
I don't think so. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. Presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN.
We're learning a lot about each other.
It's Murr.
I'm the cloud from Mister. It's kind of a roller coaster. Sports is a roller coaster.
Matt, the sports fan version of Matt is way more relatable than the sports fan version of Jim Rutledge or me. You're thinking like a radio host, which means a hardcore radio and sports person. Matt's thinking like somebody that has a job doing something else that also likes sports.
That's Matt's whole charm.
Yeah.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio in downtown Madison. Alongside Matt Hamilton, here's Jim Rutledge.
This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We are presented by Coors Light. The mountains are blue, you know what to do.
And that's Crush, a Coors Light.
We are in the Everlight Solar Studio. He is Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. Primetime Wollersheim behind the glass. And you can get into the show, 844-770-3776. And we do have a Siding Unlimited poll question. And that poll question is, we want to know, as it keeps on getting buried because we keep on retweeting stuff over it. But anyways, who handled the situation on the Super Bowl Radio Row worse? Josh Jacobs or the Packers wide receivers, Jaden Reed and Dontayvion Wicks? Right now, 61% of you say Reed and Wicks, with Josh Jacobs at 39%. Jason Wilde, before we went to break, said that Jordan Love didn't answer the question well. And here's what I'll give it. That one, Jordan Love is not good at talking to the media. He just isn't. And Matt, you can be mad about how important it is or not, but it's incredibly important. And to Jason Wilde's point, and we're going to hear Jordan Love again, this was not a got you question. This should not have been a surprise question. Jordan Love should have had a very succinct and easy answer to it. He could have practiced it in the mirror because he had to know he was getting this question. Like, without a doubt, this question was coming to him about Josh Jacobs saying they need a number one. There should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The Packers know he's not a wordsmith. Someone should have gotten with him and been like, hey, man, here's exactly what you should say. And he got around to it, but he left a lot of gray space and a lot of area for interpretation. And if he just ended with, anytime you can add great players, I'm never going to say no to that. But he did a lot before he did that.
How do you see this young group, and are there advantages in not having us in not number one?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we have different guys that can play and do different things better than other guys. And I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role. And I think we're still young. We're still building this thing. And guys are still proving themselves. So, Josh, he made those comments. And,
so
I'm
they
always
chuckle
rocking my guys.
because they know
that we have. I always say, if you add good players to an already good offense, I think, you can make it a better team.
That's a C answer. It's an average answer.
I disagree.
Of course you do. You've never said a player's answered anything badly ever.
Yes, I have.
When?
I mean, I can't point
you
out
always
the top of my
defend.
head.
When he pooped down his leg in front of the cameras with his contract thing, you defended him.
Prove it.
Prove it. You
Jim,
did it. You were so mad about it.
I
prove it every single time, Matt Hamilton. You've never held an athlete accountable for not being able to answer a question.
We can literally go back an hour, and you could say that was a good political non-answer. So the fact that Jason said it wasn't good, and now you flipped your tune.
Hey, we heard it one time. The more and more I hear it, here's why it's not a good answer.
Ask about Josh Jacobs.
Here's why it's
question.
not a good. Here's why it's not a good answer.
Okay,
because here's why Jason.
You go first. I insist.
Because Jason Wilde gave the context that I forgot, and when I think about it, Jordan Love is not surprised by this answer. You know it's coming.
He didn't seem surprised.
He didn't answer it well. Then he just doesn't know how to answer a question. He didn't prep himself for it.
His
That's a bad
question
job.
was, how do you feel about this team not having a number one? Or do you think it's a good thing not having a number one?
He knew that question was coming. That's not a surprise.
No, it's not the same question that he probably was preparing for the Josh Jacobs question and didn't get the Josh Jacobs direct.
What would the Josh Jacobs
That's why
question
he brought
be?
it up.
What would the Josh Jacobs question be?
Josh Jacobs says you guys could use a number one wide receiver.
Why would he answer differently? It's the same damn question. Do you need a number one wide receiver? Josh Jacobs says it. You said
he didn't
it.
ask
Jordan
it.
Love
The
was not
question
prepared to answer that question.
Some people say it's an advantage to not have a number one. That was the question.
And then, Ryan, separately, we do remember that when Jordan Love pooped down his leg when he was asked about his contract, Matt was defending him.
I believe we all defended him.
Because we
You're
all
the only one who went after him.
Right, but you guys were mad at me then. Because Jordan Love is not good at PR. It doesn't matter, but there is a fair case to be made that this is not a surprise question. It's not a gotcha question.
Who do you think
I'm not
handled
saying it was, but it wasn't the exact question that he thought he was going to be asked.
It's a C answer.
Who do you think handled it better?
And whoever said answering something politically is good. Go ahead.
Who do you think handled it better, Josh Jacobs or Jordan Love?
Josh Jacobs.
For calling out the Packers' lack of a wide receiver.
Speaking the truth. If a truth kills a man, let him die. Josh Jacobs gave a real answer.
I think Jordan Love gave a true answer. I mean, he said the same thing, and he said it correctly.
He hemmed and hawed all the way around.
He's hemming and hawing.
He's saying that they're a young group and they're developing. Like, no one's there yet, but there's time to go. We're still building this thing.
Honestly,
That's
it's
a
the
good
difference.
answer.
Actually, I love that question, Ryan, the way you asked it, because to me, Josh Jacobs is the leader of this team. Because Josh Jacobs isn't afraid to go out and say exactly what the truth is. And he said it in a succinct way. And if people are in their feelings, you know who's looking bad right now, according to our poll question? The wide receivers crying about it. Because Josh Jacobs said something that every Packers football fan knows.
Okay, but
And to
Josh
your
Jacobs
point-
is the one who's going to be in the locker room and deal with those guys.
He doesn't. He's not on the offense. He's not the best player on the offense.
No, I'm not denying that, but I'm saying there is more to it when you're a teammate. And if you answer something like that and create a divide in the locker room, it could be worse.
But Matt, what about the
You could be
motivation
worse
side of
off
it?
for
I
it.
thought these guys could be motivated. If
It
their
could be.
quarterback, okay, so
but
if
we
their
all know
quarterback said,
all people are different.
Okay,
so
but
when
the
the quarterback says they're all coming along, they're not there
So which
yet,
is
but
it?
they have a lot more to prove.
so you're saying that Jordan Love knows these guys are not motivated
Jordan
by
Love
being called out.
answered in a way that isn't calling out anyone in particular for not being good enough.
Okay, so earlier you said that maybe this Josh Jacobs calling out these wide receivers would motivate them.
It could.
It could.
But it could also be a detriment,
but then-
Jim.
So you're saying either Jordan Love doesn't know his teammates or he knows that those players will not be motivated by it, right?
No.
Right? Yes.
No,
Under yes. Under your premise.
it's not a yes or no.
It is a yes or no.
It's Jordan Love knows that maybe something Josh Jacob doesn't, that these guys aren't going to be motivated
So
by that.
my point is, then your premise that Josh Jacobs motivating those receivers to be better is false. Like, that will not be.
I'm saying it could possibly happen.
One
but
of those
I don't know
things
the
are
wide
false.
receivers
Can I
either.
interject?
One of those things are false,
Yeah.
right? You can't have your cake and eat it too.
No,
One
Jim,
of those answers is false.
You're
The
totally
receivers are
right.
not man enough
Hold on,
to
just
take.
give me a second,
I'm
man.
just-
All you're doing is babbling.
No,
give me a moment.
No, I haven't finished talking. You're trying to jump in over me.
You're asking me something, and then you're continuing to talk.
Fine.
Yes. What? Here's the thing, Jim. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
One of two things needs to be true.
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't know either of these wide receivers. I don't know if this motivates them or irks them beyond belief.
Right.
Something is true. Jordan Love, who's been in that locker room a lot longer than Josh Jacobs, knew that he needed to go a little softer on his answers.
One more year with those receivers than Josh Jacobs, because they're both 2-year receivers.
Jaden Reed you're saying this is his second season with the Packers?
They played together, yes. Last year was their second season with the Packers.
So that is a whole year longer of knowing somebody. I would say that is a fair assumption that Jordan Love knows those guys better. So if Jordan Love needs to tiptoe around the truth a little bit more, saying, yeah, they're not at number ones yet, but they have a lot of potential, it can get there, as opposed to Josh Jacobs saying, we don't have a number one and I would love to go out and get one. Those are two very different answers from two different guys who know these guys differently.
But my point is, your premise earlier that Josh Jacobs' comments could motivate those two to be better?
It could.
Well, it's one or the other. Because either Jordan Love knows.
Yeah, and I don't know the answer.
Right, but my point is, you're trying to have your cake or eat it too.
I'm
saying you're wrong on one of the two
Either guy
accounts.
could be right. And
I'm just not letting you say
tell.
two things that are directly opposed to each other. Both can't be true. Which one is it?
I can't pick it because I don't know. I'm just trying to say the positives from both of these conversations.
But I'm trying to have a conversation.
It could be motivational from Josh Jacobs, or you could need to baby these guys a little bit like Jordan Love.
We don't work for the Green Bay Packers. I'm asking you, what is your opinion? Do you think that Jordan Love gave a political answer because he knows these receivers can't handle being criticized, or do you think Josh Jacobs is the better leader of this team and he said, I'm going to hold these guys accountable regardless of their feelings?
I think Josh Jacobs said exactly what he felt, and
why can't you give an answer? You don't play for the team. Which is it?
I don't know.
Who handled it better? Josh Jacobs for calling the players out or Jordan Love for dancing around their feelings?
Jordan Love definitely had coach speed.
So who handled it better?
I would think as a guy who isn't trying to have any sort of drama in the locker room, I think Jordan Love handled it better.
I'd say it's Josh Jacobs. 844-770-3776. That is our siding limited poll question. Who handled the wide receiver question better?
I don't want to ask that question.
Why?
I want to ask a different question.
What?
Who is a better leader for the Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs or Jordan Love?
Fine. Same question.
Exactly.
Because honestly,
but
the person who answers it's Josh Jacobs. 844-770-3776. That's the Cardinals Talking text line. This is more our siding limited poll question. Who is a better leader for the Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs or Jordan Love?
Jordan Love or Josh Jacobs. That's how I'm writing it.
It needs to be Jordan Love. Jordan Love needs to take control of that. Josh Jacobs, those kind of answers could either galvanize a locker room or it could create a rift. And as somebody who plays on a small team, if someone went out and said that in the media about my team and I was the one being targeted, I would be upset by it. It would motivate me to be better, but I would have I wouldn't have the trust in that guy that I once did.
Do you think
prior
the
to those
size
comments.
of the team makes a difference? Real question.
I do, yes.
So, who
but
is
those
the
two guys are the main guys right now. So like that's essentially like saying the leaders of your team are, one of them is saying that you've got potential and there's room for you to grow and he believes in you, and the other guy's saying they ain't it and we need another guy.
I don't think. Look, Jordan Love didn't give a real answer. He didn't say he believes in them. Let's play it again.
Play it one more time.
It was very political.
How do you see this young group, and are there advantages in not having a number one?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think we have different guys that can play and do different things better than other guys. And I think we have a wide or a deep receiver room. Obviously, like you mentioned, Tucker Kraft. But I think we got a lot of guys that can grow into that role. And I think we're still young. We're still building this thing. And guys are still proving themselves. So, Josh, he made those comments. And, I'm always right for my guys. I love the guys we have. I always say, if you add good players to an already good offense, I think, you can make it a better team.
So nowhere in there does he say explicitly that he believes in them.
No, but while you made your little chirp in there, you spoke of him saying that these guys have a lot of potential.
Yeah, again, he could be talking about the offensive. He could be talking about any player on any team. He did not name his receivers. He named Tucker Kraft. That matters, right?
No, he was referring to a previous question.
Right, but
they had mentioned Tucker Kraft, so he said Tucker Kraft.
You also, if you're the quarterback of the Green Bay Packers and you truly believe in the other receivers and you don't believe that they are motivated by negative promotion, you would say, you mentioned Tucker Kraft? Absolutely. And Jaden Reed and along with Dontavian Wicks are also important. He didn't say their names.
Okay. I feel like you're parsing it a little bit.
I feel like if you're he had a long answer, he could have said their names.
Yeah. You're certainly right. He could have said, these guys have, Dontavian Wicks and Jaden Reed have a lot of potential.
Yes, he could have named them all.
But he didn't. He said, our wide receiver room is deep, and there's a lot of potential to be had there.
Yeah, but that's a generic, again, political answers are not the right answers. And this question, this topic is not a surprise to him.
Political answers aren't going to upset the locker room. And when you are trying to be the leader of a team as Jordan Love is,
to be.
He is trying to be.
Josh is the leader.
Josh is the one who is absolutely being the more inflammatory of the two. If that makes him a leader, because
why is it inflammatory for speaking the truth? Nobody
because you have
who
two guys
football,
who got upset by it. That's clearly inflammatory.
No, they maybe are babies. You can't watch the Packers and say they have a number one.
I totally agree with that, and I agree with what Josh Jacobs said.
And you should have a problem.
Do I think Josh Jacobs should go on national media saying that nobody's good enough to be the number one in Green Bay?
He didn't say that.
I don't think so.
He didn't say that. But he did say we need a number one. And also, if Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks think they're good enough, that's a problem. Yeah. If they think they're good enough, that's a problem.
But it's not crazy for them to think that they shouldn't be called out by their teammate on Radio Row.
Called out. We can get the other clip. It's not like he said that these guys stink. He didn't say they're bad at football. He said
they're not number ones. And that is going to sting regardless of your position as a wide receiver on the Green Bay Packers.
Do we have let's hear it.
Fourth and, whatever, making that play.
Yeah,
them 4 to 5 plays, we didn't really come up with them a lot this year in general. I would say that's the biggest thing. And then we probably missing like 2 or 3 pieces. And once we get that, we'll be all right.
Yeah. What pieces?
Yeah. I would say, I think we need another DN.
Okay.
I think we need another DB, and then I think we need a wide receiver, a real wide receiver.
Miles Garrett
number one
will be here later.
Yeah, like I love the guys that we have in the receiver room. They all have potential to be one, but we need a guy that's proven to be one.
Right. Also, where's Rashawn Gary and Lucas Van Ness and Kenny Clark? Are they in their fields? Where is Xavier McKinney? He also and other players in the secondary. The only guys who are in the field are Jaden Reed and Dontavian Wicks.
Rashawn Gary's too busy at the Pro Bowl. He can't be bothered.
That's done now.
He's still in Orlando, I bet.
That's probably true.
No one wants to leave Orlando.
Busy on Bourbon Street.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Like, I think it says something that he called out.
I'm not saying that those guys aren't soft. I'm not like you're trying to put me in a box.
I'm not. I'm trying to get you to actually pick an angle. That's all. I'm not trying to put you in a box. I'm trying to put you in a lane.
You don't have to pick an angle. As a fan, you can.
You're a radio host. Pick a lane. Your lane is that Jordan Love's a better leader, right?
No.
Okay. What's Josh Jacobs is?
I think they're both leaders, and they both have different leadership styles.
We have a poll question. You are the radio host. Give us the answer.
I'm
Give us the answer
from this one. I'm voting Jill Stein.
That's pathetic. You are. That is absolutely pathetic on 2 levels there. Chalmers Jewelers in Madison and in Middleton. You're going to give your answer on the other side, or honestly, you should be banned from the show. Chalmers Jewelers, Madison's local and Madison's custom jeweler. Chalmers Jewelers. Go get a great piece of custom jewelry. Go get yourself a great watch like the one I got over at Chalmers Jewelers. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Come see what the buzz is all about at Madison Axe, Madison's state-of-the-art entertainment spot. Enjoy 8 lanes of axe throwing, craft beer, interactive games, plus digital target projection and scoring. For even more fun, check out their indoor backyard with 2,000 square feet of shuffleboard, cornhole, yard games, bar table games, and more. Perfect for date night, groups, corporate meetings, or private events. Madison Axe is your destination for all things fun. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
This is our crew.
Fly ball right field. Hit a ton. We're tied.
Milwaukee Brewers baseball is coming to ESPN Madison.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
Every pitch, every dramatic moment, every
fly ball left field. Back. Still back. It is up and gone.
Madison's new home of the Milwaukee Brewers. 100.5 ESPN.
When you or a loved one are faced with an unexpected injury or illness, Stoughton Health's urgent care is there for you. Stoughton Health has 4 convenient urgent care locations for the care you need without the wait. We have urgent care locations in Stoughton, Oregon, McFarland, and Cottage Grove with extended hours to fit your schedule. Stoughton Health accepts over 160 insurances, including Dean Health Plan, Quartz, Humana, and more. Please visit stoughtonhealth.com for more information. Stoughton Health, creating excellence together.
The 2025 Wisconsin football schedule is here, and you should be too. Season tickets are on sale now, so don't miss your chance to jump around at Camp Randall Stadium this fall. Last year, 6 of 7 home games were sellouts, proof that there's nothing like game day with the Badgers. Secure your spot for marquee matchups against Ohio State, Washington, and Iowa, and enjoy the best value to see Wisconsin football in action. For more information and to get your season tickets, visit ewbadgers.com or call 1-800-GO-BADGERS.
Hey, it's Riley Yauk. Stay in the know on area high school sports and follow ESPN Madison on Twitter for Prep Mania on Deck, each week's preview for the top games and events. Prep Mania on Deck is brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of high school sports and local communities.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
We're going to skate to one song only.
Presented by Coors Light. We are live in the Everlight Solar Studio. Molly Brown out with babies. Primetime Wollersheim, Matt Hamilton. And we are going to throw some stones here. We're going to make a slight change because we have Molly's game coming up in a second. But we did throw the stone. Need Matt Hamilton to answer the question. You don't work for the Green Bay Packers. You're not a member of the Green Bay Packers. So I just need you.
But I don't know if Josh Jacobs or Jordan Love is listening.
You just need to give your opinion. It's just like your opinion, man. And to our Siding Unlimited poll question, you can chime in 844-770-3776, the Carlos Talking text line. This is more. Our Siding Unlimited poll question. Who do you think is a better leader for the Green Bay Packers? Jordan Love or Josh Jacobs? It is a landslide right now. Would you like to give your answer, Matt Hamilton, without looking at the poll results? You're a man of the people. I don't want you to.
Well, I can't look at them unless I vote, and I haven't voted on it.
Well, tell us your vote, though.
I want Jordan Love to be the leader of this team. And I do think that leaders do need to answer or say the tough to hear things that their teammates might not want to hear but need to hear. So what Jacobs did was probably more of the leader that this team needs. Jordan Love was definitely beating around the bush a little bit, kind of like I am right now. I think the better leader is probably Josh Jacobs, but I don't like it. I feel icky saying it.
It's a landslide in Josh Jacobs right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's 70%.
It's because he said what people are thinking. And I'm not saying what Josh Jacobs is wrong, and I'm not saying that Jordan Love was wrong in his answer. Jordan Love took the more diplomatic, I'm not going to call anybody out. I mentioned Tucker Kraft because I was referencing a question just answered.
It was a rookie mistake, but he's a 6-year guy. Like
he's a 2-year guy as a starter. He wasn't getting any questions his first couple years. So, like, to call him a 6-year guy, like, okay, I get it. But when you don't take any media in your first 4 years.
What is he, 26? He's going to turn 26 years old soon. Like, you're not a baby. Like, it's just a rookie mistake in the idea of, like, don't say anyone's name or add the other players' names. It's a small thing.
It's one of those things that I just think he was trying to avoid any sort of drama with those guys. Josh Jacobs is the running back. He doesn't have to go in the wide receivers room and talk about what's going on. He doesn't have to deal with those guys directly. He can literally say, hey, shut up, catch the ball. I'm going to get the ball handed off to me. I won't drop it, and I'll get us yards.
So
he can just avoid them.
As Jason Wilde pointed out, the end of his answer was fine. If he said, look, I like the guys we got, but anytime we can add better players, anytime we can add great players, let's do it.
Right.
It was the him and hauling for 90 seconds beforehand, and even allowing the like if you see the video,
he was
Ryan
being
Clark
direct with the
and they were
question.
kind of chuckling and like because he hemmed and hawed and kind of dragged it along, they kind of were laughing at him trying to find a way to answer the question without upsetting the receivers.
I think they laughed at him because he brought up the Josh Jacobs thing when it wasn't brought up in the first place. He was asking about the number one, like, is it better to have a number one wide receiver? And he did. He might have spoke a little bit too long, could have been a little bit more concise about that question, but at the same time, he did say that they're not there yet.
844-770-3776. Rutledge is an idiot guy is in his feels. Jim Rutledge is absolutely terrible. Can we get him off the air in Madison? How much longer do we have to deal with this?
People like me.
Ever.
Exactly. Jim's been on the air for a decade, and
I'm pushing 2.
He's going to be on the air as long as Hallis was running the Bears.
Yeah,
absolutely
102
ridiculous.
Years of it. Rutledge is an idiot guy. Don't get in your feels. Here's how I know.
I do think he's an idiot too, though. To be fair, but I like him.
Here's what makes me happy.
He's my idiot.
I'm right. Like, I am right today because he only gets really mad when I'm super right. And that makes me feel good. That's a good stone. That is our throwing stone.
That's a good way to think about it,
Rutledge is
too.
an idiot guy proves that I am correct. Right, Prime?
I don't think that's how throwing stones works, but you're correct.
Go be a winner. Go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. That's where winners go. Millions of dollars are won every single weekend at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. So go be a winner and go to Ho Chunk Gaming Madison. We're going to play Molly's game coming up here in a minute. So we'll take a quick break here and we'll come back and we'll play Molly's game. Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
One word captures why so many businesses choose to do business with James Imaging Systems. Local. Local business technology. Local support. Local accountability. Listen to James' client Daniel Bertelson, RE/MAX Preferred CEO.
James Imaging is one of the vendors that we use to move all of our documents and set up networks and utilize their equipment for scanning and storage purposes.
Local support works for James' client Josh Gabel, Service Manager with Kirsch Appliance.
Yeah, things happen.
happen, they can come out and fix it and leave us to what we're needing to do.
Jennifer Wilger, purchasing manager with Baker Manufacturing, likes the local accountability from the James Imaging Systems people.
They're an absolutely wonderful partner for us. They go above and beyond.
Local business technology, local support, local accountability. Get it all from James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 608-221-3457 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Welcome to the Chevy Lightning Round. Guess the clues to win. First team, you're up.
Powerful, commanding, unstoppable.
Silverado.
Adventurous, fun, techie.
Trailblazer.
Stylish, nimble.
Trax.
Innovative, electric.
Blazer EV.
Lightning Round champions. You've guessed all the right Chevy clues.
Wherever the year takes you, explore it together in the Chevy of your choice. See your Badgerland Chevy dealer today.
Coors Light presents To Chill or Not to Chill. When your friend skips your favorite song on the playlist. End the friendship. Or choose chill because that song lives rent-free in your head anyway. And you planned ahead by bringing Coors Light to the party. And the sound of that ice-cold can cracking open was music to your ears already. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2024 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Some things you wouldn't mind being stuck with, like a huge inheritance. But a phone that has to be plugged in just right so it charges is not one of those things. Switch to Verizon and we'll pay off your old phone up to $800 via prepaid MasterCard for a new one on us. Just trade in any phone from our top brands with select unlimited plans. $829.99 purchase with new smartphone line on select unlimited plans. Minimum $90 per month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Trade-in terms apply. Payoff phone requires smartphone purchase and port-in with new smartphone line on select plan. Must provide most recent bill showing payoff amount of eligible phone. Additional terms apply.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Metro Kia Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealership.
No sleep till!
Brooklyn! 844-770-3776. That's the Carlos Talking text line. List is more. He's Matt Hamilton. I am Jim Rutledge. We are presented by Coors Light. Primetime Lorisheim behind the glass. AC and Tosa chimes in. Y'all people don't like Jim. He's objective, especially for a Bears fan. And AC and Tosa is a Packers fan.
Yeah. And I've never said you weren't objective. I think you can be a little bit harsh, but I don't think what you're saying is out of your feels for being a Bears fan, and what you're saying is wrong.
Right, because again, the Bears have so far to go to even being in the conversation with the Green Bay Packers, even season to season. Like, right now on paper, I have the Bears likely battling Minnesota to figure out who's last in the NFC North. Like, I would go Detroit wins the division, Packers in second place, likely Minnesota. Maybe Minnesota gives the Packers a run for their money. I'm assuming Darnold's going to leave. And then the Bears are battling out 7-8 wins and see what happens. And that's where I have them. So, like, the Bears have a long way to go to get where the Packers are a year or two in front of the Bears at a minimum in this winning cycle. Even with Ben Johnson, I just think the Bears won 5 games last year. And one of them was like a game-winning long field goal. So, like, they get to 9, they almost doubled their victory. So, like, there's a lot of heavy lifting there. So, the Packers are far closer to the Super Bowl and a division title in Chicago. So, they're not peers right now.
Yeah, so it brings to the point, like, you're not the one who's letting your fandom show by being harsh about the Packers. Like, I think you give a brutally honest truth, and I'm Jordan Love, who's trying to make sure that I'm not upsetting anybody and being politically correct with my answers.
Thank you.
844-770-3776. Let's go out to Josh in Kenosha.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great.
As a Bears fan, I'll chime in with Josh Jacobs first. I love what he said. I got no problem with it at all. If the Packer Nation wants to take on the personality of their whiny head coach, Josh Jacobs from Chicago. where we have a real owner.
It's true.
We'll gladly take him.
Rest in peace.
Well, keep in mind now
The
now
McCaskey
it'll-
family
now it'll
owned the
go to
team. She
George.
was not in charge.
Okay, I'm just taking some shots.
Great, and a 102-year-old woman.
Well, hey, she was still more confident than the shareholders, the Packers, claim to be owners.
Hey,
so
that's me you're talking about.
See, I love this guy. He says all the
just
things that
saying.
people think
I'm
I
just
say. Continue.
y'all were a fingertip away from being 0-6 in the division. You ain't got much room to talk. And Caleb had better numbers than Jordan Love in the divisional games. So we can go back and forth on that all day. But
No, we
as far
can't.
as
You're
Josh
right.
Jacobs
You're right. Them
you know.
stats. There's no going back and forth on that.
Josh Jacobs stepped up. Like, be a leader. Your QB should have been a leader, not a diplomat. Like, you don't have a number one. None of your guys stepped up and did it. And there's nothing wrong with speaking facts. Could he have been a little more tactful with it? Sure. But he didn't say anything that was untrue.
100%. I totally agree with that. My just feeling on it is like, you've got to share a locker room with them next year. And if you're going to create an issue in the locker room, that could bleed out onto the field and affect your team as a whole. Jordan Love being the guy who has to deal with running backs and wide receivers, he can't upset everybody because he's the one who has to get them the ball. Josh Jacobs as a running back, shut up, catch the ball, I'll run the ball. We don't even have to talk. So he's in a better spot to be blunt about it.
You could be like that. But as Kyle from KBN said, don't be a snowflake.
100%. I think the wide receivers definitely, I voted for them being in the wrong. They were soft. They need to hear that. And if they're upset, take it up with Josh Jacobs privately. Don't take to Twitter because you're going to get trashed by the fans because they all know what they saw this year. 857 yards as your number one wide receiver is not a true wideout number one. So you're right. Thank you for the
drop
call.
33 passes.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah, thank you for the call.
Never call back. No, I'm just kidding. That was actually good insight. That was good insight.
I also just got like an insight into I feel like Rutledge is any guy or others who get really mad hear that, even though I'm not saying it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like they hear that coming out of my they somehow their brain changes what I actually say.
Everything he said, you have said.
But not.
You have said that.
Preposterous.
The stats, but I haven't said the.
Yeah, you said the NFC North quarterback thing.
Right, that's statistical
stat.
fact.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
The
again,
owner stuff.
You said the thing about the Packers would have lost if not for a fingertip. Would have lost twice to the Bears.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't say would have. I said that they are. It's a slight difference. They won the game, but I said that the Packers were a fingertip away, but they still got the win.
And
but
Josh
they got
said
the win.
But Josh said the same thing.
Yeah.
Josh said the same thing.
Slightly different stank on it, though. I put a little less stank on it.
Oh,
I like Josh.
wait. So now they're saying the same thing. It's the stank. That's
Yeah, I
it's
don't
the
know.
tone.
It's pretty stanky in here.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs. I also don't spit them all at once. Josh Jacobs and Jordan Love said the same thing. One guy just said it better and more direct.
I think Jim just likes Bears fans. We got to get to Molly's games, guy.
Okay, fire.
Guy.
Yeah, I meant to say guys. I said Molly's games guy, so I just forgot the plurals.
Hey,
My
guy,
bad.
shut up. We're trying to get to Molly's game.
Hey, okay. Well, sounds good.
I am looking for Molly. I've been searching everywhere and I can't seem to find Molly.
This is Molly's Game, hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly Brown.
And still not exactly hosted by America's favorite bookie, Molly's Brown, as she is out with baby still. You can actually go back to Monday's episode, catch Olivia and Luca in studio with us, along with Molly Brown, as we break down our reactions to the Luka Doncic trade. But last week's Molly's Games, guys, Molly's Games guy, we don't really need to go over it because I don't want to know what the results were because they're all about the Bucks-Spurs game last Friday night, which, I'll be honest, not interested in looking back at that one, especially after the events of this week. So we're going to spin it ahead, get right away to Molly's Games lines for the big game. Guys, it's
the Superb
Owl week. So let's see what the first line that Molly's going to have us pick in the Chiefs-Eagles game.
First one here, guys. Over under 1.5 missed kicks in the game. That's including both extra points and field goals.
Jim Rutledge, why don't you start? Over under 1.5 missed kicks in the game.
Well, unfortunately, Harrison Butker's pretty good at his job. So,
Jake Elliott's pretty good too.
Yeah, Jake Elliott's been a little bit not
shaky.
quite as great, but I still would go under that.
All right, Matt, what about you?
I agree. I don't think there's going to be any missed kicks in this game.
No missed kicks.
I agree. The only time would be like if the Eagles needed a long kick and it's kind of a Hail Mary out of Jake Elliott's
Well, you know what's funny actually about
wheelhouse.
Jake Elliott? His accuracy is actually better the longer the distance is.
Really?
It's like I think he's missed like 5 PATs this year, but he's like 8 of 8 on 50 plus
I know the
field
PAT
goals.
is part of it, yeah.
It's really weird. All right, well, we got that
Friend
one
of
down.
show, Jake Elliott.
That's right.
Been
You gonna wear
on.
his jersey on Sunday, Matt?
If I could cram myself into it, maybe.
So I'm gonna make another request here that if they win, can you work on friend of show Jake Elliott?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think it would even be much of a task. I think he'd come on anyway.
And if they lose, you have to wear the jersey.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna need help getting it off later.
Johnsonville Broad over here.
Yes, perfect. All right, guys, here's the second line of Molly's game today.
Over under 4.5 times they show Taylor Swift on screen.
4.5, that's it? 4.5 for the Super Bowl, Molly? Matt, why don't you go ahead first?
Oh, it's definitely going over that.
I mean,
every time
easy.
Travis Kelce touches the ball, they're gonna, and I think he's gonna get more than 4 catches. So I'm gonna go definitely the over on that.
How many times do you think they'll show her during the halftime show? At least once.
At least once, but I mean, still, the eyes are gonna be on Kendrick.
I think they're going to throw to Taylor and just be like, what's Taylor? How's she reacting to the show? Oh, what if she was down there? All the Swifties being like, oh, she's better than Kendrick. All right. Jim, what about you?
Just a little context here. I'm going to go over on the times, but last year's Super Bowl, she was shown 12 times for 51 total seconds, 0.36% of the broadcast.
No, it's going to be cutaways, like very quick,
Yeah,
but they're going to show
So
her
I
a
will
lot.
go over on that, but also understanding everyone should get out of their feels. You'll probably see other random celebrities as much. Less than 1 minute of the broadcast, less than less than 0.36% of the
So
broadcast.
can we ask that as well? Because then this is for a Woolies game. Over under a minute of total screen time for
I'll
Taylor
go
Swift.
still under. If you went under last time, I think I'll go under again.
Because
You'll
last
take
year
under a
wasn't that the
minute.
first year that Kelsey and Taylor were together? So
Yes,
like, that was
and-
their first
yes,
opportunity at
yes.
it.
And
I don't want to
before-
say it's old news, but it's already been played, so
And
it's going to be under a minute.
It makes a note here that there was the game-winning touchdown that added a bunch of seconds for her last time.
Well, what if he gets a game-winning touchdown this time?
Well, right, but I'm going to take the odds. Also,
Yeah.
did you if Kelsey catches 3 passes, 2 he'll tie Jerry Rice, 3 he passes Jerry Rice for the most amount of catches in Super Bowl history.
If he didn't disappear in the AFC Championship game, he'd already be there.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like that's.
I thought it's
no.
Super Bowl. This
Well,
is
no.
Super Bowl stat.
Oh,
not
this is. Oh, you said Super. Oh, I thought
Yeah.
you said playoff. Sorry.
No, Super Bowl. He already
Okay.
has the
Did
records.
he do the playoff? Oh, he already got there for the playoff one.
Yeah, I think he got it for touchdowns. I think that was last year. It's a Super Bowl one that's up on the air now.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
I did not realize that. All right. Cool stat. Very cool stat. All right. Third one here, guys.
I want to know, guys, which song do you think that Kendrick Lamar will open the halftime show with?
All right, Matt. What about you? What song does Kendrick open halftime?
Oh my gosh, I gotta think of some Kendrick songs. What's the one he just won all the Grammys for?
Not Like Us.
Yeah.
That's aggressive. It's so aggressive if he starts with that.
I said that honestly he would break the internet if he brought Drake out. Because he performed a song with Drake. There was Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice. It's a good song.
So if he ended it with that, could you imagine? Like, honestly, the internet would completely
How much
explode.
money would they have to pay Drake to come out and do that?
There's
not enough money.
Honestly, if I'm Drake, like you'd almost have to like the best. If I was addressing Drake's PR, now again, hip hop's a little different. There's more machismo in it, but
PR Jim today.
But I would say, just at this point, take the L, own it, and go laugh at yourself and go do it. Like, because that's honestly the whole thing's forgot. Like the whole thing is kind of forgotten.
If he laughs at himself, that's a probably bad sign considering the connotation.
True, but like this is the guy from Degrassi who did Sprite commercials.
I think
it's not
he's got to go just stay in Canada. He can never come
again,
back.
blame tariffs and stay in Canada.
All right, Jim, but what do you think? What does Kendrick actually open with?
DNA.
DNA? Okay. Good choices. All right, let's get the last one here from Molly Brown, guys. Oh, we already played that one. My bad. My bad. Here we go.
And last one, who are you picking? Who are to win it all? Chiefs or Eagles?
Well, we already know Jim Rutledge's pick.
Are the Chiefs the favorites?
Yes, probably by like 1.5.
Okay, so
I think the playoff or the matchup predictor I saw on ESPN is like 2% or 56% chance the Chiefs win. Excuse me.
Whoa, ESPN right now, they are the dogs.
By how much?
It is 56.1 for the Eagles, 43.9
Okay,
for
so
the
I
Chiefs.
just saw it wrong. I believe it was the exact same thing last year for the 49ers game. So.
But the Kansas City -1.5.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, I don't think people are making the same mistake as they did last year because I believe the Chiefs came in as true underdogs with the books, too.
I'm going to do the same thing I did last year, and obviously not just because I enjoy watching the Chiefs win and people get really mad about it. I'm going to go with the quarterback.
Yeah.
Do you know that Patrick Mahomes has a higher percentage of going to the Super Bowl as a starting quarterback than he does have the completion percentage? His completion percentage is like 66% for his career.
What is it? He's made
73%.
He's made the AFC Championship game every year but one, I believe.
I thought it was every year.
Yeah, because they lost in the AFC Championship game to the Bengals.
So I saw another wild stat. It was like quarterbacks in the playoffs with a game-winning drive or game-tying drive on the line. Like the average for NFL players is like 35-40%. Tom Brady was like 5 for 9. Drew Brees was 3 for 6, so like at 50.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is 7 for 7.
Also, I did see this
100% with a game-winning drive opportunity
in the playoffs.
On this point as well, Peyton Manning was the worst. I can't remember. I think it was 8 times that their team has lost in the playoffs when their defense has allowed more than 25 points. And Aaron Rodgers twice, Brett Favre twice, Patrick Mahomes 0. Brady and Manning were the highest ones.
Wait, so say the stat
their
again?
defense allows more than 25 points the times that they've lost.
How many times they've lost when the defense allows more than 25 points?
Yes.
Okay.
And Mahomes,
how many times has Mahomes' defense allowed more than 25 points?
I don't know. He's just never lost. But
Okay.
I mean, and Rodgers and Favre were it too. So those are pretty good numbers for them too.
Yeah,
I'm going to take the Eagles.
You got the Eagles? All right, thank you for being different. It would have been boring if you guys both said Chiefs.
Well, we both picked a different song.
You
so.
guys, yeah, I was going to say, but you went same for over-under missed field goals, PATs, and Taylor Swift Showtime. So,
yeah. I think those were the easy ones. That last one, who knows? The Eagles team, I hope it comes down to they're on the 1 yard line. They need 6 points to win, and they win with a tush push.
Ugh. I'm over
that way, the tush push gets eliminated. The Chiefs don't get the three-peat, which, again, would it be cool to see? Yeah, but I'm over the Chiefs, so I'm here for the Eagles, I guess.
I'm over the tush push.
I am too.
It's like a
I'm
different
over both
sport.
of them.
It's not
so
even
if
football.
If the great
football.
Patrick Mahomes loses on a tush push, it's gone. It's gone next year.
That is football.
So it might be for the greater good of the game if the Eagles win on tush push.
I'd be more than willing to lose the tush push if it means the Eagles beat the Chiefs. Especially as a non-Eagles fan.
Yeah,
I'll
get
take
rid
it.
of the brotherly shove.
That's okay. Yeah, even if Tucker Kraft can't do it anymore, fine. Good with it.
Yeah, and honestly, there's a problem. Nobody executes it like the Eagles.
Yeah,
the
for
Bills
sure.
try. It's not as good.
Which is why it doesn't need to be banned. The Eagles are good at it, not everyone in the league.
Yeah, it's just not. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah.
So
It's
what?
not like a cool football play.
Oh my God. Whatever. Go.
I'm here to be entertained. I'm
Yes.
not here to watch you get 2 yards because
isn't-
your running
I'm not
back
watching
pushed
rugby.
your quarterback in the butt.
Isn't that illegal in college, by the way?
It's the murkiest of murky areas.
Because you can't can't push a guy forward.
Yeah, totally. But how do you if he doesn't put his hands on him, just runs into the guy? Does it count as a push?
This is Jim Matt Molly presented by Coors Light.
Molly Brown here for Potawatomi. Hey, all you sports bettors, if you aren't making your wagers at Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you're missing out on an elite experience. The state-of-the-art venue has dozens of self-service betting kiosks, seating for over 200 people, a first-class bar and restaurant, VIP deck, and a broadcast booth, which we're big fans of. In a major move for all sports bettors out there, you can now use your Potawatomi rewards card at most self-service kiosks and the betting counter. If that isn't enough for you, there's a giant video wall that's over 2,000 square feet. And if you're short on time, they have free 20-minute reserved structure parking. Bet on your favorite sports and earn rewards points along the way. Now that's a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook.
You're listening to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and Wisconsin On Demand.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
Hi, it's Eric from Canopy Wealth Management. Our years of experience have prepared us to guide you through your life transitions. Our local professional team brings over 90 years of collective experience in the wealth management industry for the benefit of our clients. Canopy Wealth Management. Care, competence, clarity. It's not just a tagline, it's a promise. Go to canopy-wealth.com to get started on your financial future today. That's canopy-wealth.com.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At MadisonWeightLoss.com, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally, and safely with no drugs or injections. No prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, or exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can lose weight quickly and keep the weight off for good with an easy-to-follow maintenance plan that includes ongoing personal support. And our program costs half as much and works up to twice as fast than most other programs. Go to MadisonWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation now.
Hey, it's Jesse Nelson. Madison Weight Loss is the real deal. I was able to drop 40 pounds simply by changing what I eat. This program really works. Schedule a free consultation to see how the program can help you achieve your goals at MadisonWeightLoss.com.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation now at MadisonWeightLoss.com. That's MadisonWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
When it comes to your body, you want to trust a doctor, and you want to trust the experts. That's why the only place that you should consider going for GLP-1s and semaglutide is Carbon World Health in Madison, because they're run by Dr. Nestor Rodriguez. They have a workout facility and trainers to help you reach your goals, and they can help with dietary suggestions. The experts for semaglutide and GLP-1s is Carbon World Health. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
UW Credit Union presents the Prep Mania Student Athlete of the Week, supporting local student athletes as they grow on the field, in the classroom, and in the community. UW Credit Union is here for every you. Learn more at uwcu.org. Here's Dennis Semra with the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Val Richardson, Madison East High School. Welcome, Val.
Hey, thank you.
I got to ask you, you scored 47 points in a game back in November.
Yeah, that was the second game of the season.
And it was against Madison Follett.
Yeah.
So you got Eastside Pride. Was that a biggie?
Yeah, our rival team, I have to. You got to lock in for that game.
When you look back in your time at Madison East, being a Pergolder, what's that going to mean to you?
Definitely being a Pergolder just means like putting in that work and definitely representing the colors, the purple and gold. That really stood out to me, and just being like a good person, a good teammate, having a good personality.
Welcome back to Jim, Matt, and Molly, presented by Coors Light on 100.5 ESPN. Also brought to you by J&K Security Solutions.
Smart move rolling with the instrumental. Primetime Warsheim. They not like us.
Yeah, not all producers are like me. What can I say, Jim?
Matt Hamilton, Jim Rutledge with you. We are in Everlight Solar Studio. This is one of the filthiest songs. Like, there cannot be a radio edit that exists to this song.
You're probably right.
Because I'm of the back in the day, you'd have like attack albums or rap beef albums.
Yeah.
But like they were.
I kind of want to change my answer now, but I guess I'll leave it.
Very niche.
It's like maybe Mad City.
Like very niche where you never hear them because like you'd have to like have the tape or CD or whatever to hear them. But now because of how popular streaming music is, this song that's never played on the radio can still win a Grammy and be one of the most popular songs out there. Primetime Warsheim, Jim Rutledge, Matt Hamilton with you. We're back at it tomorrow. Matt's going to bring, I threw this on Matt, but he's going to bring at least one recipe themed to either Philly, KC, or New Orleans. And then we're going to talk about Super Bowl stuff. Best halftime acts of all time. What do we think? Are there going to be guests with Kendrick Lamar? Prop bets during the game. And we'll talk about Super Bowl food and what we're all doing. I know I'm drinking some Coors Light and having some people over. Getting some Pizza Hut and having some Coors Light. So it'll be a good time. This is Jim, Matt, and Molly. We'll be back at it tomorrow. We are presented by Coors Light.
See ya, everybody.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our